people who are fans of Firefly, the so-called brown coats or whatever, they acted like, God, what a bunch of assholes. They're forcing us to like this. They're like, no, we're not. It was a show that got canceled halfway through, and we're trying to promote, hey, give it a try. And they're all acting like we're some sort of Nazi shock troops.
Way to take it back to Whedon.
But the whole thing is like the Filkers suddenly grabbed on to Firefly, and it's like their big thing right now is Firefly stuff. And I'm like, hey, guys, we don't want you. Go away.
Don't help.
Don't sing for us.
Are the Filkers sitting there at conventions singing "You Can't Take This Guy"?
That's like when Robert Blake was on trial for killing his wife, and OJ stepped in and said, like, "Hey, I know what that guy's going through." It's like, please, dude, don't help.
No.
I'm good. I'm totally good.
He's like, I'm calling Ike Turner as a character witness to the stand, but you shut the fuck up, OJ.
$30 Rock, which wow, I had no idea. I just finished watching the second season recently and went, wow, I wish I had never listened to Carla. I was like, 30 Rock's not that good. What you should be watching is the other show that's based on
How many times do you have to be burned before you realize that fire is hot?
I know.
You actually like that other show, hour-long drama?
I didn't. I fucking hated it. It was awful.
No, you liked that hour?
I loved it.
Yeah, I
TV
like
show
the first
sucked.
couple of episodes of Studio 60. I was like, all right, I can kind of see some potential
Where are you going
here.
with
Where are you
this?
going? This is nice. And why do you keep trying to do SNL bits? Because Aaron Sorkin, you can't write fucking improv comedy. You're not good
It's
at
like,
it.
why are you going to do a drama about a comedy? I don't.
And here's another shameful admission from Jason.
You liked it?
You loved it.
I've never seen an episode of 30 Rock.
I've seen parts of episodes.
No, you're not alone, dude. Lots of people
You got to
have
bring
it.
your hard drive.
Well, that's true. That's true. Well, it's a brilliant
Hulu.
show.
Yeah.
Go to Hulu.
It's got a great ensemble cast.
Alec Baldwin.
Tina Fey carries that show so well.
my God.
And when Alec Baldwin shows up, whenever he's on, he owns it.
Not only is
Plus,
it
they get the best
consistently-
guest stars in TV.
It's consistently hysterical. But when they go that point, those episodes, it's like each season has like 2 or 3 episodes that are just so beyond, where you just are crying, you're laughing that hard. It's just that good comedy.
If you had told me 5 years ago that not only would I think that Tracy Morgan was funny, but that Tracy Morgan was in fact capable of being funny, I would have smacked you upside the head. But his scenes have sent me into
Lightning in a bottle.
paroxysms where I could barely breathe.
No, absolutely.
He will never be better than where he's at now.
No, he won't.
And Leon nailed it. Alec Baldwin, who I've always respected, here you're like, wow, this guy's one of the best guys of his generation, and as far as a comic
I've
actor
always
goes,
liked
him. He really
this
is, yeah.
He takes
It establishes
all that
a
brilliant
reach.
stuff he's done with his appearances on Saturday Night Live, and he just channels all that into this
Nice.
character, that power, that fucking strength of those exaggerated characters, and does that here, and he is just a knockout. I mean, I'm sure he must have won the Emmy for one of these.
What's my name? Fuck you.
That's my name.
What's my name? See this watch here, pal?
Third place is you're fired.
Fired. Can everybody do that whole scene? Where's Ricky Roma?
so.
Oh, I'm going anyway. I mean, it's just...
Yeah. You're family man, go play with your kids. You're a nice guy, fuck you.
Fuck you.
All right, so next, Frisky Dingo, a show I'd never heard about till Leon told me about.
Okay. That's another show that hasn't started. It's funny you keep...
Well, I want to
What
do
is
something
this
about
show
this because
about?
I never heard of it at
What is-
all.
what's this
and
show
as a
about?
Venture Brothers fan, here's another show about parodying superheroes.
Yes,
and
it's a show that it's done by the guys who created C-Lab 2021. And once they were done with that, they moved on to Frisky Dingo. And
Well,
this
once
doesn't
one of
rely
them
on
died.
parodying another, Hanna-Barbera show from the late 60s or early 70s. It's their whole thing of you have a guy called, godly, damn it, I'm blanking on his name.
Which guy, the villain or
Yeah, the
hero?
villain. What's the villain?
Oh, Murder. No, it's not Murderface.
No, it's not Murderface.
Killface.
Killface. Yeah. Who has the Annihilatrix. And
I love that, man.
yeah, and he's some kind of alien. You don't know what he is. He's
Yeah,
just
they
with a
never
British
bring up-
accent.
He's like this big, bald albino guy with kind of cloven hooves.
Who's really polite most of the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, well, he speaks like this. He speaks in a very accented British way. and
Very
he-
affected.
Yeah, he's very effective.
But the violence in the first episode is so disturbing.
Oh yeah,
And you don't meet
Well,
the-
when he cuts a guy in half, and then in front of his twin brother uses the dude as a puppet.
God, it's like Repo, the genetic opera.
And you don't meet the hero until the next episode, who's Awesome X, who's sort of an Iron Man type character. He's like a rich playboy with a Iron Man type suit.
Yeah.
But except he's all into being famous, and his personality is basically Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Except like a funny Owen Wilson.
But-
So
but-
like
If
like
you
like,
can
unlikable.
imagine that.
yeah, if you can imagine that.
Except not suicidal.
Well, I don't know. I only watched the first 2 episodes, so I don't know.
Yeah, but it's very ironic. It goes in places you don't expect, and it's the same type of humor that you get from 2021, from C-Lab 2021, except it just goes all over the place and somehow manages to stay together. They've done 2 seasons of it, and they're extreme. Like in the first season, it's all about trying to stop him with this. In the second season, both guys are running for president.
Yeah.
Next one up is Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which
Ooh.
I was a big fan of the first season. I was really excited about this, and right off the bat, they sold me. I was worried it was just going to be like, okay, we're going to tread water.
Are
But
you not
know
liking
what?
the second season?
No, that's what I'm saying is, they right off the bat kicked my ass. Man, they introduced the fucking liquid metal Terminators. I thought they would put that off forever, but yeah, the main arc villain for this season is a liquid metal Terminator.
And it's Shirley Manson from Garbage.
Oh, is that? Oh, no wonder she looked familiar.
Ooh.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, stop.
Yeah.
Stop the presses.
You
I need to
had
start watching
Cyrus had hot redhead.
Wait
Whoa.
a minute.
Yeah.
The liquid Terminator is Shirley Manson. Is that what you were
Rock, roll
saying?
in.
That's what I
Rock,
said, yeah.
roll back in. I love it.
You had me at fucking hello.
I know. I didn't know that.
Shirley Manson,
Holy
it's a
mackerel.
beautiful redhead from Scotland.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to get into that.
Well,
No,
the
this
thing
show
is,
is so good, and it keeps building the tension, and it adds onto the mythology in a way that makes sense with everything we've seen.
well,
before.
it does. Well, the thing I love, with the first season, was halfway through you get Brian Austin Green, who comes in as the uncle of John Connor, and he sees that they're friends with a Terminator robot, and they're like, "No, these Terminators are bad. You can't."
And
you
like,
can't-
no,
you
it's
can't-
Brian Austin Green. I don't want to watch this show anymore.
Yeah,
and the
it's
whole
kinda
time-
like, Shirley Manson, Brian Austin Green. It's like, oh.
They should totally bring in the entire rest
I was
of the
all
cast
excited
of
until you said
90210.
those 3
They
words.
should totally bring in the rest of the cast of 90210 as Terminators. That would be the best thing they could do.
Yeah,
at this
Luke
point.
Perry.
they keep
Shannon
telling him-
Doherty, because who wouldn't believe it?
Right.
Let's
Yeah,
face it.
Shannon
Pretty
Doherty
mechanical.
is a fucking Terminator.
Exactly.
Well, I love how he's like the asshole of the first season. He keeps going like, "You can't trust that Terminator. Hey, look, she
And I'm
saved our
fucking
lives.
Megan Fox.
She's really good. Leave her alone. No, you can't. They're always turn on you. They'll always turn on you." And like, dude, you're getting on their fucking nerves.
And then
you start this
they
first season.
turn on it.
No, she gets an explosion, and her programming gets fucked up, and she goes like, "Oh, John Connor, terminate." And Brian Austin Green's like,
Told
"Told
you,
you."
motherfucker.
Man, it is like the show ratchets up the tension, it ratchets up the questions because there's this whole thing going on from the first season left over. Like, they can lie. Their programming is really much more complex than we ever thought it was.
Right.
And, for all we know, this whole Terminator, female Terminator, is there supposedly to protect John Connor. What if she's there to protect him because he's supposed to do something that makes Skynet happen?
Right.
And there's this big
that's pretty
question, like, wait a minute, maybe she's actually never was there. She's not there from the beginning to help the humans. And there's evidence to suggest that.
So is Joe Morton in it?
I love Battlestar Galactica.
There is no Joe Morton. However, Dr. Venture is in the episode.
Yeah, that's what I heard, but I didn't know what he was playing.
Oh, he was the guy. Okay, at the end of last, he's the one who blew her up. Like when they were looking for that one Pacific guy, and they thought they killed him, but he wasn't the guy.
Sarcissian or
Yes,
Sarcissian
that
or
was
whatever.
what's the actor's name? Damn
Come on,
it,
Jason. You were saying it earlier. The actor's name who plays Dr. Venture.
James Urbaniak.
Yes, James
yeah.
Urbaniak. Yes, he's in the first episode.
But anyway, that was great.
Yes.
I'm really pleased with where they're going with it. So by all means, I know that a lot of people are just so cynical to the point that they're like, no, I refuse to accept a television show Terminator.
looks good.
It's
Get
really
the
good.
fuck over it, okay? Because this is a damn good adaptation.
Yes.
It's one of the few really good movie to television show adaptations. They're doing a hell of a job.
Are they going to connect that with the
No,
new movie?
with Salvation. No.
Well,
Okay.
actually,
I've heard that the movie is going to pretend like the TV series didn't happen.
see, I haven't heard that. I've heard
Okay.
that the movie is one of those things like it is and it isn't. The television show isn't going to address the stuff that happens in the movie because most of the events in the movie happen either after the events of the television show or out of the awareness of the characters who come back.
Are
into
these
the
owned by
television.
2 different companies? Because
No,
that's
it's owned
just
by the same company.
Because that's just some poor fucking synergy right there.
I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen it yet, and there is a lot of like. unclearness about what's happening there. So
Right, and you're dealing with time travel, so you can always do.
yeah, you
alternate
can change
timelines.
whatever the fuck you want. Look at
it's a cheat.
Heroes.
You deal with time travel. Oh, just go back.
Look at everything that's happened at Heroes. I bet you the 4th season will be like, nothing has happened that you've seen so far.
Don't
because
say that,
we
because you
dug
say it, it'll
such a
happen that way.
fucking giant hole for ourselves. There's
Be-
no other solution.
Patrick Duffy is John Connor.
Anyway, Chuck just it hasn't actually
Chuck won't
aired
start
yet.
till Monday.
And yet they leaked the episode to the internet. And I've
Did they
already seen
really?
it. Yes.
Oh shit, I haven't seen it yet.
It's more Chuck. If
Okay.
you haven't seen the show, it's a scruffy nerf herder of a guy, just an average geek who ends up becoming the Intersect, which is just a made-up thing that they developed where basically
he has the entire internet in his head.
he is the not the internet,
All the secrets of the
he has all
government.
the secrets of the CIA
Yeah.
or whatever secret society are
everything,
in his
like
head.
CSI, or the National Security Administration, the FBI, the CIA,
And so,
all the
two
big
different
shit.
organizations send out their agents to protect him and to work with him to be able to do stuff with this. And the thing at the end of the second season is, hey, we're building a new Intersect. So as soon as we're done with that, you guys
Kill
have
him.
to kill him.
I'm just happy that Adam Baldwin is in a show that went to its second season.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
Very, very
So
happy
apparently,
about
as a
that.
side note, the comic book adaptation of Chuck, I've read some really good reviews.
Yeah, apparently
Really?
people are really
Because those
writing
are
it.
almost never good.
I don't know.
Is it? I believe it's Dark Horse doing it, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, I know. I've seen it
I
in
wanna
the
say it-
section of Austin Books, which is pretty much dedicated to the TV stuff. I
wanna say it's like 3 issues in.
Yeah, Dark Horse gloms onto a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe. But
Yeah, like Dark Horse only does licensed properties now, which is funny because they started out.
They were
I
the-
know their very name is like
They were
we're
the
Dark
antithesis.
Horse.
Yeah.
We're the
and now we
antithesis.
own every
Yes.
geek property
Yeah.
there is.
Remember when they were Flaming Carrot and Concrete?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Concrete, The American, The Mask, all these very original properties. That's all they did. And then they got the Star Wars license and the Aliens license,
And that made
they
them
said like, you know
all their
what?
money.
We think we're going to do this from now
Yes,
on.
Yeah.
we like people that can actually pay us.
That being said, they did some pretty good stuff with some of those licenses.
Yeah.
I mean, try and tell me Dark Empire isn't better than the prequels. Anyone in the room but
Yeah.
Jay.
I've been hearing
There
a
is
lot
a-
of good
Yeah, no, you're
things about the new Star Wars series. The guy really like pushed them on me, and everything he told me about him sold me. Like they might be the comic of the week. Coming
all
up
the
soon.
Mara Jade stuff, and
Yeah.
Han and Leia getting married and having kids, all that stuff, that's from the novels and the Dark Horse comics, is fun as hell and so much more interesting than the prequels.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I love they have the one bit where they had Luke Skywalker facing off against an AT-AT, and he was just like whipped out his lightsaber, like deflected all the lasers and just like beat the crap out of it with the Force. And you're like,
You're the first.
yeah, dude.
You're the first person who hasn't called them an AT-AT.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody say it that way either.
AT-AT, AT-AT. Imperial Walker would actually be the
No,
All
Imperial
terrain
Walker
armored
is-
transport.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the Imperial Walker was the big four-legged one, and the AT-ATs were the two-legged.
No,
No,
that's
the
the,
AT-ATs are the four-legged
the
ones.
two-legged ones are
two-legged.
Scout Walkers.
or the ATSTs.
ATST, yeah.
Which I gotta say, design-wise, neither one of those things makes sense.
No, they never would.
I mean, if you have the technology to make something fly, that's always going to be the most efficient
Wouldn't you
thing
just
you
have
can
the
do.
damn thing hover in the first place? Why would they
Yes.
walk at all?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just to give the Ewoks a chance to
I mean,
tie
I
the
think they
legs.
actually did it because everything
Well-
in Star Wars is over-examined and canonized. They did actually examine this somewhere, and it was like, oh, well, it strikes fear in people's
Well,
hearts.
and then there's also the fact that these were built by the Empire, the same guys that put an Achilles heel on the Death Star.
It's like,
That's true.
So,
And so is it indestructible?
can we put a piece of plywood
yeah.
over that?
Wait,
no,
I'm sorry.
It just
you,
wouldn't look good.
You hesitated. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you. Why'd you hesitate about that? Well, there's this 2-meter panel that if they would get a shot down there, it would destroy everything.
About the size of a womp rat.
Okay, we'll get that taken care of. Like, we can get it taken care of tomorrow. Or we could take some bits. Yeah, let's take some bits.
Yeah.
Why is there a
If money's no
long?
object, we
Why is there a long trench leading up to it? Even for that matter,
It's filled with lasers.
for that matter, you got to wonder with the Rebel Alliance. It's like, guys, why don't you just fly right at it?
Yes.
I don't understand. It's
you
not like
are
it was-
in space, which has no
Yeah,
dimension.
yeah, it's like obviously nobody took geometry class or something. I don't know
You're
what.
thinking, just let it happen. I mean, you can analyze all it.
We
None of these
can't
movies make
do
any
that.
sense. in
because the
reality.
Rebel
This is
Alliance are
okay.
hippies. Hippies, pure and simple.
All right, so we're going to move on from television. Goodbye, television.
Bye,
Bye,
TV.
TV.
Goodbye, television.
We loved you.
Bye,
while you were here.
TV.
Yes.
Yeah, 'cause you guys forgot 24, but that's okay.
Because we don't
24.
care.
Yeah, and is it
24
still, is 24 still in the
24's
air?
got a
Yeah.
new movie coming
yeah, I
out.
guess it is.
24's got a TV movie coming out November 23rd.
Yeah, we know. And after last season, which is one of the biggest, like, fuck yous ever in television history, probably, of like, wow, what a piece of shit season. I mean, after everything they've done before with the stuff they did there, fuck that. Fuck that show. It should have been over by the third season anyway. A great idea
the
that
fifth
is
season was
way overplayed. Oh, the fifth season was a last gasp at coolness.
I thought it would.
We had
it
a
was
few
great.
last cool
It
ideas.
was, hey, with the president going, we had the president that's behind the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, we just like that because we fucking can't stand.
I
our
just want this
president.
season to like start out with Kiefer Sutherland waking up in his bed at like 12.
No.
Scratching his ass or
At
10
12
minutes,
one.
getting on the
Ching,
internet,
chong,
drinking a cup of coffee.
chong,
You know, I want it to
ching,
be
chong,
my version
ching.
of 24.
Now he wakes up at like 12
takes a
noon,
big shit.
and he like checks his Blockbuster queue,
Ching,
and he's
chong,
like,
ching,
he's like,
chong, ching.
Sweet
Lost
Tokyo
Boy-
Drifters.
he's like, Lost Boys 2? Nobody fucking called me.
But wait. In November 23rd, the movie comes out. He's in Africa. He's supposed to be finding himself doing good work.
Yeah, we
of
don't. Yeah, that
course.
sounds fascinating.
I know, but of course he ends up in some, tribal war. So
this
you know,
guy can't go anywhere.
I know. so he ends up in some tribal war where he's going to probably cut off people's hands.
Jack,
with
I'm
machetes
afraid
and
we're
stuff.
going to put you in the cell now,
But then,
so you can never
but
interact
then when he
with anyone
comes
again.
back, but then when CTU starts again, well, there's no CTU starting with when they have the female president. I can't remember her. It's the woman who played.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Chick
I
from
know
Battlestar
what you're talking about.
Galactica.
The dude goes to McDonald's for a cheeseburger and the French fry machine explodes and terrorists jump out of the goddamn Big Mac he's eating. Come on, really? When does it end? When does this guy have a normal day?
I know, but I just like the way he tortures his friends and his friends don't. Okay, Jack, that's cool.
You're right. Now that you mention that, the whole torturing your friends thing doesn't
I love
sound
that,
all
like-
that unpleasant.
Give me the answer. Give me the answer. I'm sorry. Oh, Jack, that's cool. I understand. I love that.
There's so many comics of the week that I read every week that we've already talked about.
Yes.
But I discovered this new comic. Actually, there's a trend in comics now for war comics. These new war comics.
There are a lot of war comics that are coming up the pike right now.
Dude, I love G.I. Joe.
Well,
It's the zeitgeist.
When
No,
did the
they-
romantic
these people are
mu-
actually fighting wars.
When are the romance musical comics coming out?
I don't know about that, but what we have
When the
is,
superhero industry tanks and dies. In
I
the
can't
next
wait
couple
for the
years.
hair comic. Yeah, anyway,
in
go
the
ahead.
aftermath of 9/11 and our war with Afghanistan and the fake war with Iraq, it's the kind of subject that we, as a citizenry, we wanted to tackle for a while, and yet every movie that's come out has tanked until The Dark Knight, which to me is like the first movie to really be a 9/11 movie without directly being that the public has
Good
embraced.
example,
I mean, that movie is all. If you look at the subtext, it's all about 9/11 and terrorism.
I don't even want to know. All I know is that it's Batman kicking ass. That's enough
Whatever.
for me.
It's-
But
I don't need
who's going to
subtext.
play the Riddler?
It's totally in there, but it's the
Philip
first
Seymour
time
Hoffman.
the American public has been able to embrace a movie about that. And there's all these war comics that have sprung up. Garth Ennis has a new war comic, but most notably, Mark Millar has War Heroes.
Yeah, Mark Millar, who's best known for the Ultimates, probably.
And Old Man Logan.
Old Man Logan,
and Kick-Ass.
1985, Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
Enemy
he's
of the
doing
State.
no. Okay, so he's doing a war comic. Back in the day, there were war comics that were literally just that. They're just
Yeah, our hero-
soldiers fighting in the war.
Right.
Our
Of all-
heroes at war, like especially growing up in the 60s and 70s. I mean, there were still, the almost all the veterans from World War II were still alive,
Yeah.
and a lot of
And
them
buying
were
comics.
writing comics,
Or
and so
buying
you
them.
got stuff, the familiar stuff like Sergeant Rock, but you got Our Heroes at War, The Losers,
Sergeant Fury and his Howling
Sergeant Fury
Commandos.
and his Howling
No,
Commandos.
that is Nick Fury.
That
Yes.
is Nick
Okay,
Fury.
all
Yeah.
right. Well, I never read any of that other stuff, so I
Yeah,
didn't even know.
all of the characters who are like the answer to Sergeant Rock's Easy Company and Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos ended up going on to become members of S.H.I.E.L.D., like Dum Dum Dugan and Aloysius, what's his name?
Quartermain.
Quartermain.
There's always a Quartermain.
Gabe Jones, who was like the only black GI.
Really? There was only one?
As played by Cuba Gooding Jr.
Affirmative action got him into S.H.I.E.L.D.
He was the only one in the Marvel Universe version of World War II.
Well, they were like, there were lots of black soldiers at first during World War I and II, and they were that first wave they sent out to greet the other.
Yeah.
Clint
German
Eastwood
soldiers.
said that there were no black soldiers in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, now they have gone back and written a comic called Red, White, and Blue, or Red, White, and Truth. Anyway, it's all about like the very first Captain America, where they did like sort of they experiment before they injected Steve Rogers with the super soldier serum. Sure, they had to test it, and who did they test it on? Black soldiers.
Wait, did they get an animal to do it?
No.
Oh, wait.
They got African American
Captain Marmoset
soldiers.
American.
Okay,
Most
good.
of whom were deformed and died, except for the very last one.
Yeah.
Who was actually the first Captain America.
I mean, this is not, and folks, this is, this ain't conspiracy theory.
Yes, because
Read
the
your
American
history.
government would never do experiments on black men.
Syphilis?
Well,
Wait, except for that
Syphilis?
whole syphilis thing.
Yeah. And we've done it. It's been proven. It's in the history books. Ain't nobody denying it anymore. We just choose not to talk about it most times because white people write the history books.
Whoops! Sorry, Indians,
We-
about all that land.
Not even Indians. We were like, it was a long time ago. Forget about it. It's like, can you say the 60s?
We would have tested on Indians, but we already killed
Yeah,
them all.
whoops, we killed them all.
Do you think a
Well,
black
yeah.
guy invented crack? No.
It's like most of us don't even know a Native American.
Yeah, they all.
I mean,
own
I know
casinos
one.
now. They all know. They all at the casinos in the Northeast.
He's not even whole blood Native American.
What's the thing?
He's
I
partial.
thought he was Mexican up until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I think he thought he was Mexican up until a few weeks ago.
Co-host?
But so Mark Millar has a new comic called War Heroes.
Yeah.
And the tagline is that, hey, this is what I really would have wanted to do for the Ultimates 3. So I bought it. And it's all about these super enhanced heroes going to fight the war.
Wow. So it's not like the old school war comics.
I didn't
No,
know
no,
there was
none of
any
these are.
special powers.
Wait a minute. I mean, it may not be like the 70s and 60s era war comics, but is it? I mean, is he doing any kind of pay on to like the Invaders and that kind
Is
of
it
stuff?
in
or the 12?
known continuum? I mean, who's publishing it? First off, it was Image Comics published it.
Jesus.
Which is
So no real continuum involved as far as Marvel Comics or DC
okay.
Universe.
Although Image has been known to cross over with them, I seriously doubt this is one of those
Right.
cases. So
Unless it makes money.
yeah, so assumably Spawn's not showing up at some point either.
Hey, who knows? But right now it's about a bunch of vets from the Iraq War who are getting super soldier enhancements and going over the fight. Now, to be honest, only the first issue is out, and there's not enough there to really tell where it's going to go or what's going to happen.
The first issue of a Mark Millar comic is never necessarily the way to go.
Right, and I would have loved to have waited until a few came out, but they haven't. But however, Mark Millar being on such a roll, I thought, hey, I just like bring this up. But really, what inspired me to talk about war comics was Kyle Baker's comic called Special Forces.
Really? Oh, so it was a totally different comic that inspired you.
But it's also an Image comic.
which is also an Image comic, and they're up to issue 3.
Yes.
There are
And-
boobs on the cover.
There are boobs.
Well,
on
the thing
cover.
is, like, you look at it, and it's all this hot chick who's like in a army, fatigues that are torn to shit.
Doesn't
So
look like a big
So
lesbian.
so it exposes a lot of skin. Now, what's interesting about this comic, first off, is that you read it and it feels like it's been written by Garth Ennis, just
Yeah.
by how hardcore the violence and
even
sex
the,
is.
Even the art, which is very, very, you can definitely tell it's Kyle Baker, and he does a lovely job, man. The art's great in this. But the opening shot is like somebody getting shot square in the fucking face with their teeth spraying out all over and blood
Awesome.
everywhere, and it looks like Dylan,
Yes.
Steve Dillon, who did the art for Preacher, straight out of Dylan's code,
So-
but done by Kyle Baker.
So Preacher era Steve Dillon, not Wolverine origin
Exactly.
Steve Dillon.
Indeed.
Exactly, very much so.
Non-comic.
Now,
code.
the appeal of this comic is that Kyle Baker was inspired by the fact he read an article about how with the current war that we're in now, the army is so desperate for more bodies, more cannon fodder, that they're even like accepted a few people who were listed as special, like bordering on retarded. So he took that and created Special Forces.
Dude, this is the most awesome comic book ever. Are you making this up?
This is kick-ass
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, the storyteller is this troubled chick from she's pretty much high school age, and she's got this horrible record of beating the crap out of people, and so she's sent in because she's got a bunch of felonies on her record, and that is her name, by the way, Felony.
Were they?
But it turns out, in the first one, the main character he's just like this badass who will not fucking stop no matter what because he's autistic. And his sergeant has written him a list of things that he needs to do that day. And the things on his list are take out base Y, kill this, this, and this, and overtake with this leader who's named this. And he's like, that's what I got to do.
Yeah. No matter how many times he gets shot or nearly blown up, he's going to complete this mission. Yeah. I mean, it's some sergeant who recruiter who the army comes to and say hey, you're supposed to do this. He's like, I've done 3 tours, I can't go back.
Well, they basically allude, or paint out the picture that what they're doing is they're sending veterans back, and you're not done when you get sent back. You automatically become a recruiter, and you have to go around and get people, and you have a quota. And if you do not fill that quota, then you yourself will go back. And this guy gets his quota filled by hook or by crook, with psychotics and people that are candidates for a mental hospital, people that should be in jail, people that can't even add 1 and 1 and get 2.
Yeah, the only people at this point in their right mind who would go to Iraq.
Right.
But before
and he goes look, I got all the people you said. One of them dropped out.
Well,
so
not only got dropped out, but basically one of them, the night before he's about to leave on the bus, goes on a shooting spree and gets killed. And so they're like, womp womp, sorry, you didn't fill your quota. You got to go back.
And all these reprobates and that you recruited, that's your unit.
That's your platoon. Have fun.
Well, at least you got the one hot chick.
There is that.
No, these sound actually. You make them both sound pretty interesting. I had no idea. I mean, I'm automatically turned off by war comic. Just hearing that makes me go boring.
Me too.
But when you describe them,
I was really hoping you were going to say, and they're all flown over to Iraq in a short yellow plane.
they practically could have been. I mean, the thing is, I've been a big fan of Kyle Baker for a long time. I discovered Kyle Baker back when he was an inker on The Shadow.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was. I had no idea.
Well, he was an inker on The Shadow, and he took over doing all the artwork on The Shadow.
He did the shadows on The Shadow.
Yeah. What? Oh, I thought he was amazing. I was like, wow, I'm really inspired by this guy. He's become sort of a hero of mine. I hope I meet him. And so this one amazing weekend.
You're a tracer yourself.
Name dropping will commence in 1, 2, 3,
and go.
Go ahead, Carlo.
Man, you guys suck. You know what? I'm only telling stories because our fans like to hear them.
Tell us a story, Uncle Leon.
So I'm gonna just swallow my disgust at you and tell the story anyway. So I had this amazing weekend at a Dallas Fantasy Fair when I'm a guest, and I'm sitting between Todd McFarlane and Steve Rude, who draws Nexus, who is my ultimate hero.
And they're both your best friends.
Anyway, Kyle Baker's there, and I can't wait to meet him because I've come to love this guy's artwork. And I was kind of dismayed to discover that he was about the same age as I was, only 6 months younger.
And you went, what have I done with my life?
Well, I mean, he's another black guy like me, about my same height and build.
Kyle Baker's black?
Yeah, I was like,
no idea.
No, I know. I was like,
there we are.
I'm looking at him, I was like, wow, we could be brothers.
I don't
and I
read
hang
black
out with him,
comics.
and I discover, for a guy who's so amazingly talented,